Welcome. We did a tasting of these three wines, all available at kosherwine.com. And disclosure, these were all provided for review purposes from kosherwine.com to Jewish Drinking. So disclosure out of the way. So the first one we're discussing, we had a tasting event this evening with this Yotam Cuvée Vera 2020 had 48%, 45% carrying on, 45% Syrah, 10% something else. It was a nice, light, easily drinkable wine. We all enjoyed it. It had some light cherry aspects, had some teeny tiny wood aspects. It was certainly pretty drinkable.
Easy drinking wine, extremely fruity, I think. This would be a wine that if you're going to sit down with some friends and polish off a bottle or two without even knowing, this is the wine to do it with. It was light, fruity, smooth, excellent finish.
I was just thinking it's like your game night wine.
Yeah, it's an easily drinkable, pretty sessionable, yet quite flavorful of a wine. Really lovely. Now we're moving on to the Luce. So we had the Luce, the 2020 Syrah and stems. This was nice. This was pretty drinkable. Also, actually, I will say all three of these. We've had several of these wine nights throughout 2023, and this was perhaps one of the most dynamite nights we've had. All three of these really. Even the least of them really was quite incredible.
Agreed. Totally agree. The Luce was a little bit heavier than the Yotam. I would say more medium-bodied, super smooth, very oaky, with the fruit in there, without any type of aftertaste. So it just went down. The finish was extremely smooth, really good drinkable wine. I would say it would go really well with probably most meals. It would be more of a meal wine than just a sit around drinking wine. Really nice all around.
Exactly what I was going to say, that it's super versatile. Like I don't have to decide in advance whether I'm serving chicken or beef, or I forgot to take the chicken out of the freezer, so I can serve it with fish.
Both of these first two were incredible. They were good. They were really delicious. However, the absolute dynamite find of the night was this Yaffo Heritage 2018, which is 70% Cabernet Sauvignon, 30% Shiraz. Dynamite, just right off the nose. It was incredible with some really dark cherry notes, certainly some oakiness, and certainly compared to the Yotam, it was a lot more. Whereas the Yotam had dark cherry stuff going on, some teeny tiny wood. Yaffo had a lot of oak, a lot of dark cherry, some berry notes, and although some people I think had some disagreements with the finish, I was absolutely floored by this. It was really quite an incredible drink.
So of the three wines, this was what I would consider the heaviest of the three.
Yeah.
This was not a, polish off a few bottles of wine and get up from the table type of thing. This was more of, if you're having some good meat, have this wine, savor it, enjoy it, drink it nicely. It does have the astringency, I think some of us felt on the finish. Yeah. But of course, we polished it off very quickly, which is usually a tell in our group that if you finish the bottle very quickly, it means that people liked it. It was a delicious wine. Definitely something that should be part of most people's wines collection. I think all three of these would definitely be people's wines collection for different reasons, right? We started off with the light, easy drinking, sort of friendly wine. We moved into the super versatile wine, and then this is the heavier drinking meal type wine.
This is the steak and potatoes wine.
Yeah, I will say this was perhaps of this batch that we got in 2023 from kosherwine.com. This really, for me, took my palate away. It was incredible. I'm not to take anything away from these two wines or really any other wines we had in this batch, but really this Yaffo was perhaps my favorite.
The Yaffo was your favorite.
Yeah, so I really love the woody, the deep, the rich, and even just off the nose. This had the deepest nose of this batch, and perhaps even of all of them that we had from kosherwine.com this year. That could be a personal preference. I like the rich, even just off the aroma, and then going into the palate.
I think what we need to do is for the next wine tasting, we should have like a barbecue with steaks and then figure out which one would go best with steak.
Yeah, that's good. So I want to, of course, thank Mati and Chana here, as well as kosherwine.com for supplying these wines for review purposes. Thank you so much, and l'chaim.